we're going to do the Prussian collar, which is exactly the same, the beginning draft, as the band, the smaller one. The difference with the Prussian one is it sits higher up on the neck. Therefore, because your chin gets in the way, you need more opening for it to stand more like a funnel. So narrower at the neck and wider around the face. So we just draft the oblong in the same way with the neck measurement and then the design height. So the neck measurements, and remember to put your shoulder in, was back neck. So if this is going to be my centre back right angle there, and that's my centre back, that was 8.3. And that's your shoulder seam. And then you need, I've got 11 centimetres, no, 10.5 to my centre front. So that's my centre front. And exactly the same. So you choose whether you want it to be curved at the top. You could, I'm going to do mine a right angle because then I could do it so it's folded over, pressed, and it could look like a wing collar, something like that. And think about the height. So it's up to you, the height, however you want it to be. But if it's Prussian, then it's not, you would use the Prussian one, it needs to be taller than stand, because otherwise you'd have less opening, closing here. You close it for the stand when it sits tight on the neck. The Prussian, you open it because it's high up where the chin is. So I'm going to go 9 centimetres as a design decision. Okay, and then I'm just going to keep mine at a right angle there, but you could obviously curve it off. You could make it into a point, so you could go up and curve it and add a shape. So this is going to stay as a fold on the centre back. But this time I'm going to add 2 openings on the front neck. So that's where my shoulder seam is, and I'm just going to slash this from the top down, keeping the neck measurement the same because that's what you've got to sew it onto. Okay, and I'm just going to draw 2 lines, equal distance. So divide it into 3. Make sure that's drawn on so you can see it. And then I'm going to open it up because it's going to be by the neck. So it needs to become a funnel. Okay, so this time the top edge, and I'm just going to open it. So pop a bit of paper behind, take it down. You can measure it 5 centimetres. It might, if you go really tall and exaggerated, you might find you need to open it more. Okay, if you're going for a really exaggerated, but around the chin mark, that would be 0.5 centimetre. But you're going to put the 2 openings. Okay, so you can see I've opened about 0.5 centimetre on both of those. Okay, then you add your seam allowances. And that is your under collar. Okay, so seam allowances, no seam allowance at the centre back because that's going to be a fold. And I'm going to do my 7mm, but if you're going to do more than that, then you just trim it down or clip into the seam allowances. So when you bag it out, and I'm going to do 1 centimetre at the neck, but quite often, whatever it is you do on your bodice, you do the same on the collar, so they sew together. And then you've got your shoulder notch. Okay, so that is the under collar. Okay, and you cut 1 and on the fold, and then plus into facing. And then you just need to trace your top collar through. and then add roll if you're adding roll, just so that you don't get any of the seams showing on the outside edge. So trace that off with the seam allowances on. And then you just add roll, keep it the same at the centre front, and just add it to the top edge, a couple of millimetres all round. Okay, and then remember to put your notches in at your neck, and that's obviously a fold. And that is the top collar, and you cut one on the fold plus fuse.